Hey there guys, this is Justin here with the WinBarClub, and today I have a 1 versus 1 replay for you all in Napoleon Total War. This replay was sent in by Russiisgod. Hopefully I am saying your name right. If not, I apologize and correct me in the comments. But thank you for sending in this 1v1. This is going to be Spain, who he's playing as, versus Prussia on the Prussian Hills map. And the one thing I want to note real quick, you can see Spain has access to these guerrilla units, so these guys get to deploy basically most places on the map, obviously other than the enemy deployment. And so he has chosen to deploy these guys down at the opposite base of the giant hill dominating the center of the map. And so it looks like these guys are just here to try to stall Prussia's advance. But obviously Prussia is going to have a huge numbers advantage in this. You can see all the Prussian troops just rushing forward here. And I don't know if the other players even noticed that these guys are here, because these men didn't charge and they just marched right into this mess. So that's that, yeah. And he's going to start pulling those guys back. But you can see where he's sending his troops. He's trying to get them to the top of this hill. Prussian cavalry is giving him some problems. Looks like there was an engagement over here. Prussia has 4 cuirassiers, and if you guys want to know the army builds, they will have already been shown by this point in the battle. But yeah, this is right now it's just a race to this hilltop, and he's been using these guerrilla units to slow him down. Got these guys in square because of the cuirassiers. They are being shot at by foot guards, so that's not going to go very well for them. And in here it looks like Prussia has just cleaned up some of those units. Now they are in melee, but they are slowly going to push through here. So the Prussian player either chose to just ignore that these guys were there and just march into them, or what, but you can see he's got a second line firing down in here, so Prussia is taking some losses. We've got a big charge from cuirassiers here, backed up by Spain's cavalry. And it looks like Spain's general is in the mix here too. Not necessarily what he wants, but this should be a pretty even engagement. And so let's take a big overhead. Looks like the bulk of the Spanish army's here. We've got 2 units of Walloon guards moving around this flank. There's a foot guard opposing them, so that will be an interesting fight. Over here we've got several fusiliers and light infantry, and wow, these guys are still alive. They're backing up off the hill now. These men have done their job. They didn't deal much damage to those foot guards, but they did stall them from getting the hilltop. And this is some bad positioning here. These light infantry firing straight into the hill. But this cavalry fight is still just a mess. And we've got some melee combat going on here. And look at this. These musketeers are shooting point blank into the back of their other fusilier unit. Probably trying to aim at these Spain soldiers. And this is kind of confusing because these guys have very similar looking uniforms, so you know, Spain has, looks like a little bit, actually it's the exact same shade of blue. Spain just has these little red tufts on their hat. But let's see what's going on elsewhere. These cuirassiers are finally being mopped up. He got his general out of the mix, and over on this flank we've got foot guards in a huge line dealing a devastating volley. Take a look at that. These Walloon guards here got shredded down to 50 men. Now they're going to start returning fire, and we've got a point-blank shootout here. The foot guards are going to decide to charge. They're going to do some good damage on the charge. The foot guards will probably mop up this one unit of Walloon guards. The other unit should be able to clean up the foot guards, but yeah, that's going to be a damaging fight for both sides. Down here, take a look at this. This is the thing with Napoleon Total War that a lot of people seem to miss sometimes. You gotta sometimes zoom in and check what your men are shooting. Right now, these Prussian fusiliers are doing no damage. They're just shooting right into the hill. But for the moment, Russia has taken the hill. His men are all lined up here. Over here, he's got a few men firing down at the Prussians, though they seem to be outnumbered, and they are taking some flanking fire from these foot guards down in the woods. These foot guards are actually in a strong spot, but it looks like they are about to be flanked themselves, so let's see if this volley opens up, or if these men are just going to stand sideways. What are you guys doing? I wonder if this unit is like bugged out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they should be firing a massive volley here in a second after a insanely random reshuffle. Line up, and there we go. Shooting into the flank of these foot guards, so that's going to be the end of them. But check this out. Awesome charge by the cuirassier into the back of the Spanish Fusiliers up here. That's going to rout them, and these light infantry are now going to get overwhelmed. Elsewhere, he's deciding to push in the middle here. Looks like there may be some hidden units, but I can see a Prussian Fusilier right there. Got a musketeer down here, and musketeers up here, and this melee fight with these foot guards is still going on. The Walloon Guards still have the advantage, but they are taking fire. So this is going to be extremely close. Foot guards are just an insanely tough unit. Pretty much quiet right here. We're about to start shooting at those musketeers, and this cavalry is causing a lot of issues up here. These cuirassiers mopping up several units. This Fusilier is deciding to fall back. The flanking fire from these Fusiliers has routed the foot guards. So it looks like, yep, this foot guard unit routed. They may come back. We've got a Prussian Fusilier back from routing over here. And so now these guys, let's see. He is going to get into square. Let's see if these cuirassiers commit to this. And they are going to. Man getting thrown way off his horse there. So yeah, these guys are going to mop up these cuirassiers unless they get out of this fight. They are taking fire from the musketeers over there, though. Now down in the woods, he's shooting at these Prussian Fusiliers. And over here we've just got a straight fight. This is an interesting formation for these Fusiliers. And I think right now I'd say Prussia's actually probably gonna break through this one unit of line infantry, but I could be wrong. Back here, that foot guard actually won, and now they're shooting at the general. And unless he moves them, they're gonna kill that general. Oh, nice volley from the cavalry coming in. And let's see if these guys continue with the charge. I cannot believe that that general did not die there. You had one job, foot guards, but that's it. That's gonna mop up those foot guards. And elsewhere on the battle, we've got some units coming back. Did those foot guards return? No, they didn't over here, so the Spanish troops are probably gonna start mopping up over here. That musketeer unit still has a decent amount of troops and is going to cause some issues. This unit's marching in front of what should be a monstrous volley. There we go. Yeah, and these guys' morale's already going to start plummeting. And so at this point, this is interesting. We've got a pocket of Spanish troops here. It looks like melee charge from those Prussian Fusiliers. The Fusiliers for Spain should win that, but they're being shot in the back by these musketeers. Over here we've got two Spanish units firing at one beat up musketeer unit. And oh, check that out. Big cavalry charge. This cavalry has come in just to save the day in this battle. Charging down this hill. Pfft, there went the general. Who killed him? Oh wow, some cuirassiers still alive. Went and finished up the general. But yeah, this cavalry charge could not have come at a better time. It is severely damaging the morale of these musketeers. I don't know if they're actually going to manage to rout them. Yeah, the morale is climbing back, but it definitely disrupted all the line. And over here, let's see, we've got this almost full unit of musketeers marching forward. So this is still an extremely close battle, and Spain's general being dead is not helpful to them in any way right now. And check this out. This is some of his men might be shooting the backs of their own troops. It depends on the angle here, but I would not be surprised if some friendly fire is happening with that. And you've got this cuirassier to worry about back here still. This cavalry, though, doing work, mopping up these troops, and these Prussian Fusiliers are kind of bugged out at the moment as they get cut down by that cavalry. And in the center we've got one Fusilier in square. What is that? A musketeer coming in on the flank. See, these guys could do just enough morale damage if they get a volley off, with the general being dead. Oh, nope, he's going to turn that flank, as he should. They do have to worry about these cuirassiers up here, though. And this unit's still in square. They should be being brought out. And yeah, that's not good. This unit's now routed. These guys are going to be taking flank fire. One volley into these musketeers should rout them, but those cuirassiers are right back there, too. And over here, the Prussian general and Fusiliers are mopping up. So we will see how this ends up. He's going to go into square here to defend against this charge. The cuirassiers are moving around up in the back. There's 15 of them. These troops should be able to defend against those musketeers. Yep. So, wow. We've got a beat-up Fusilier over here. These cuirassiers are wisely chasing off these routing Fusiliers, trying to make sure they do not come back. They're taking a little bit of fire from this square. So we'll have to see if he can get this unit out of square fast enough to shoot up these musketeers who are going to start firing into it. And those cuirassiers have now shattered that unit of Fusiliers. So over here, it looks like these Fusiliers just fought off the Prussian troops in melee, and now it is a 2v2 unit-wise. Actually, I lied. There's the general staff still in the back. This unit's staying in square. These guys are charging, so they must be out of ammo. Did a good morale penalty right there on the charge. But I think if they can hold there, just having this one unit of Fusilier back here is going to give the win to Spain. So this one comes right down to the end. Yeah, here comes these cuirassiers, but let me guess, are they exhausted? Yep, that's why you got a 2-mile-per-hour charge there. They are going to actually break this unit, though. Wow, so now it is a 3v1. We've got the general, some musketeers, and a cuirassier unit. Will these men be the saviors for Spain? They are fresh, so that's one big benefit. They're just marching right now. Looks like he's going to give an attack order on the cuirassier. That's actually smart. These musketeers don't have many troops, and if he can kill the cavalry, he can avoid a charge devastating his lines. Although right now he should try to get a volley into these guys, and let's see what happens as they charge. There comes the volley, the men starting to drop. The musketeers still pushing forward, and nope, they gave up. They're like, nope, we tried. Now he's going to go into square, and I think that's going to end it. The general and the cuirassier could do their best. I mean, they do have the better morale, though. Spain's general is dead. Although, yeah, these cuirassiers are going to start dropping really fast. Here comes the general staff. Look at these guys jumping into the middle of the square. So now it's just a grind. We just have to wait and see who wins this one. And take a look at that. Like, these cuirassiers here down to 5 men. Cavalry generally does stay a pretty long time in Napoleon, down to 4 men, but this general being right here is helping so much. Yep, they've now routed. And this general's staff is all that left. Where is the general himself? There he went. Apparently he died right there. So, that's going to be it. Wow. That was definitely a down to the last man scenario, though. So, thank you for sending that replay in. As always, if you guys want to send in some replays, it doesn't only have to be in Napoleon Total War. It can be in any of the Total War games. Email them my way. The email for sending in replays is always in the description of the video and shown at the end. But thank you to Russiisgod for sending that one in. That was definitely down to the last man. And take a look at that. The Prussian player actually killed more of his men by almost 200, well, yeah, a little less than 200 kills, but he managed to pull out the win. He did have more troops, so morale is an amazing thing in these games. But once again, thank you for sending that in. Hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all next time with more.